Trice, real name, no gimmicks.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of No Gimmick. Today we're talking about like dreams and deja vu and everything. So we're just gonna get right into it, and Madison is gonna start us off.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about like the science behind dreaming and how like your brain breaks that down. And all my information is from scientificamerican.com. So it says that one prominent neurobiological theory of dreaming is the activation synthesis hypothesis, which states that dreams don't actually mean anything. They are merely electrical brain impulses that pull random thoughts and imagery from our memories. So this means that like everything in your dreams are things that you've already seen, and it's like your brain trying to make sense of it all. So like your dreams are actually like not necessarily in like chronological order, or it could just be like random blurbs of things. But like as you like start to wake up, your brain is gonna like piece them together in a way that makes sense to you, and like in a way that it actually unfolded. And then they say like dreaming started like way far back, and it's like an evolution thing, and it's called the threat simulation theory. And it's like your brain remembering like a bad scenario, so that way that you can like know how to react better the next time. And it says it enhances the neurocognitive mechanisms required for efficient threat perception and avoidance. So it's like kind of teaching your brain like how to better react to maybe a situation that you already had. There's been like more than just one theory though.
So even though Madison said that dreams don't necessarily have a meaning, a lot of people like believe it has like this subconscious like message to like how you're feeling in the moment before you go to sleep. So here's some like different types of things you can dream of and what it kind of signifies subconsciously. So, some people have nightmares about maybe like taking a test they didn't know about, and that nightmare can like relate to this idea that like you're not prepared for something in your life, and you're like this fear of not being prepared. Another common dream is being chased, and if you think about being chased, it kind of relates to this idea of like avoidance of like problems in your life. So from like a relationship or something that you don't want to do. And then another common dream is falling from heights, and it kind of can build into this idea of like lack of control, and life isn't how it's like how you hoped it would be, and you're falling in a spiral kind of thing.
I think that still kind of comes back to the science, because this says the neuropsychological mechanisms that we employ while dreaming are the same as when we construct and retrieve memories while we're awake. So it's still like your brain like knows like that there's going to be a consequence like when you do bad on a test. So I feel like that's still like a memory, that's like a thought you're having. You know, it's not like coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think it relates to what you're feeling when you're awake, and it's kind of like building on this idea of what you're feeling in the moment kind of thing.
I feel like it's just weird, some of my dreams of what it strings together though, like with the chronological order. Yeah, what Madison was saying, it's so weird. It's like so random.
Mm-hmm. I find it funny how it's always like people you know in your dreams too. Mm-hmm. Like it's never just random people. I don't know.
So there's a part of your brain called the amygdala and the hippocampus, and those play a primary role in the processing and memory of emotional reactions. So basically, like if something like crazy is happening in your life, you're more likely to have like a crazier dream. And those parts of your brain, like that is what like remembers your long-term memories. So that's why like if you have a crazier dream, you remember it, because that part of your brain is stimulating like those types of memories.
Okay, this is like random, but I remember someone told me this, and I don't like, it's probably not true, but if someone is in your dreams like multiple nights in a row, it means they're thinking about you. That's what someone told me, and I believed that for the longest time, because it was after a very tragic tragic time in my life. Not actually. But anyways, I like believe that for the longest time. I don't know if it's true. There's no way that's
that
true.
might be a theory.
I
A
believe it.
TikTok theory.
Maybe not like science based, but like universe based. Like I feel like I don't know.
Mhm.
You know, like those spiritual things that everyone's
Yes.
like horoscopes and whatever. I feel like
Yeah.
it's just kind of the same thing as that, where it's like
Mhm.
everyone wants to believe.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about deja vu and like what causes it and just other stuff. So the definition of deja vu is a feeling of having already experienced the present situation. And then how it's caused. There's a lot of theories on how it's caused. So the first theory is called the split perception theory, and it suggests that it happens when you see something twice. The first time you see it, it's like normally while you're distracted or it's just out of the corner of your eye, and your brain creates like a memory of it. Like you wouldn't expect to remember it because your brain just does it all for you. And then the next time you see it, you give it your full attention, and it seems like you're seeing it twice. And then the second theory is that some experts think that your brain like glitches and experiences an electric malfunction similar to what happens during a seizure. And then the last theory says that it has to do with how the brain recalls memories. Like the brain has trouble with short-term and long-term memory, so if you just saw something, it may think that you saw it like farther back instead of like you just seeing it, so it seems like you're seeing it twice. But most people think that it's because everyone agrees that it relates to the memory somehow. The real explanation by scientists it's called the memory phenomenon. When memories are similar enough, we think that they're the same memory. Like if like one memory has similar aspects to another one, our brain just thinks they're the same one, so it seems like we're seeing it twice, which is why deja vu happens.
I feel like when I have it, but like I can tell you like what's gonna happen next. Like I don't know, it just feels so weird.
And then deja vu can actually sometimes be concerning if it happens that much, because it's like I said, like
Memory
it's
issues.
similar to what happens during a seizure. So if that happens a lot, obviously it's a problem. Don't want that happen.
I feel like it's crazy that deja vu is like similar to a seizure, because I feel like obviously seizures, you know what's happening and stuff, but I feel like deja vu is just like, I don't know.
There was
you don't know what's
lot of
happening.
theories on like why it happens. And then there's actually 3 types of deja vu. The first one is pathological, the second one is normal, and the third is precognitive and telepathic. The normal is usually a short, medium, or long duration, and then the main features are that it mainly consists of an inexplicable sense of familiarity, but involves no paranormal elements, and they're not associated with a pathological condition.
People get paranormal stuff when they get deja vu? That's wild.
Like they're like remembering seeing a ghost or something.
I don't know.
The next kind is paranormal, and these exhibit precognitive knowledge, and then they put like, I knew what he was going to say before he did it. So it's kind of what we were talking about, like, like you knew what was going to happen before it happened.
I feel like that's the one I experienced most.
I agree.
These are also not usually associated with a pathological condition. And the third kind, there's more than 3 actually, there's 4. The third kind is the pathological, and it's considered to be pathological when it causes suffering. One pathological condition in which deja vu experiences sometimes occur is epilepsy of the temporal lobe. And then in many neurological and psychiatric textbooks, it is often the only pathological condition mentioned in connection with. So in addition with the deja vu, there's other symptoms such as nausea, headaches, smelling bad smells, and even fainting. So that's like severe deja vu,
Yeah.
not good deja vu. The last one is evoked deja vu, and it basically happens like you're trying it like when it's triggered by certain drugs or something, and they're like they do it in like medical fields just to like try and or scientific reasons to try and see like what's causing it exactly, and so obviously that one's not common.
Mm-hmm.
And deja vu is French for already like happened or something.
Also, so like kind of to do with like the pathological stuff. Dreams like have a lot to do with like your like mental well-being. Dreams seem to help us process emotions by encoding and constructing memories of them. What we see and experience in our dreams might not necessarily be real, but the emotions attached to these experiences certainly are. Our dream stories essentially try to strip the emotion out of certain experience by creating a memory of it. This way, the emotion itself is no longer active. This mechanism fulfills an important role because when we don't process our emotions, especially negative ones, this increases personal worry and anxiety. So, with like your brain can like tell and sense when you're like nervous or worrying about something. So I guess then it like has a dream about it to try to like put your mind at ease and like make you understand that it's not going to be that bad. Like, have you ever noticed like when you have like a really bad dream and then you wake up and like you feel so relieved?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like your brain trying to like produce like, I don't know, a good hormone or not a good, like a good chemical or something to like replace a negative like a negative association to like something bad to like then it makes the like memory feel good because you wake up and feel relieved.
Yeah. So it's like your brain trying to reassure you. Basically.
Right.
Talking about scientific stuff is hard.
No.
I feel like I get like so like jumbled. I'm trying to think of so many things at once.
I feel like I could type like
Another part of so I have some other facts about deja vu. There's also something called deja rev, R-E-V-E, and it's the feeling of having already dreamed something that is currently being experienced. And then there's also vujade. It's like the opposite of deja vu.
That's original.
They had so many like names like it, and they all mean like something having to do with like deja vu. Goodness. It's the feeling of experiencing something familiar in a completely new and unexpected way. I feel like that'd be weird. I feel like not a lot of people have that.
wait, what? Say again.
It's the feeling of experiencing something familiar in a completely new and unexpected way. So that's kind of like weird, like how, I don't know, it's kind of the opposite of deja vu, I guess.
Yeah.
And then deja vu lasts from 10 to 30 seconds usually, maybe longer. And for the majority, it's actually a good thing because it's your brain like checking itself to make sure that it's like working and it knows which memories are which. And then there's actually ways to escape deja vu. There wasn't that much on that. I tried to look it up, but apparently there's ways that you can like escape it. I don't really know why you'd want to escape it unless it was like really bad, but and then its triggers are being busy, tired, or stressed. That's all I have on deja vu. Now you all know what deja vu is.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, first I'm going to talk about one of my deja vu moments because it literally happened on prom night. I don't really exactly remember like what it was, but basically I just remember it was Claire. It was literally you, and it was you in your green dress and everything. And when it happened, I want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm having deja vu. Like
you told me that actually. Yeah.
Yes, and I was like, it was so weird. I'm like, what? Anyways, okay, so there was one time I had this dream. It's actually a nightmare. So it's like I'm like deathly afraid of needles. Like I hate needles, and I always like like I'll have this dream so many times, I feel like in my life. Basically, I remember the first time having it as a kid, and I remember I had like my pink bedding. It was like so weird. I remember it so vividly. Anyways, so basically my dream was I was like running from someone and I like fell into a box of like needles, and that's been my worst nightmare ever. And then also another nightmare I've had I used to have like bunk beds, but we took the bottom bunk out, so it was like a loft kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I was sleeping on the top bunk, and I like looked in the corner of my room, and I was back when I was younger, I was afraid of the Grinch, like the live action Grinch, and I remember like I thought the Grinch was in my corner. Like I was yelling for my mom because I didn't want to leave my room because I thought the Grinch was in the corner. I'm trying to think of good dreams I've had. A lot of them I just remember are nightmares.
Yeah, I agree. I like only remember the nightmares. So
Mm-hmm. Like I'll remember the dream like the next day, but it's like I won't remember that for a while.
I used to have the only like reoccurring dream nightmare actually that I've had is we have like a storm cellar downstairs in our basement, and it's in like this like back room, and it's really dark back there. And I walk downstairs and I'm walking past it and I see the light on in there. So I open the door and there's like zombies like taking out my family's brains, and I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. And I run, and then it like usually ends there because I'm just like, yep, that's not good.
You should share the Bubble Guppies one.
Oh yeah, I had another one. This one's just weird. I don't even know if it's considered a nightmare, but the big fish off the Bubble Guppies, it's pink in my dream. And I'm sitting in my room looking out the window, and my dad is on a lawnmower just like mowing the lawn, and the fish starts to like chase him, and then he eats him, and then it ends there.
Nice.
And then I have one, for some reason, I was sweeping sandwiches off the top of my house. I don't know what led up to that point, but that's all I remember of it.
That's funny.
I have a lot of weird dreams.
See, my dreams are a lot darker. Like I remember one dream. I was like in like 4th grade, and I was being chased with me and like my friend in 4th grade. We were being chased around by this lady with a knife, and she was trying to murder us. And so we were, you know how like the downstairs of my house is where it's like a loop?
Yeah.
Or like the school, like you could just go around and around. So we were in a hospital, and we were just going around and around being chased by the lady. And then eventually the lady caught up to us and forced us onto a train. And like the top of a train, not just like inside the train.
Oh.
So we were like tied to the top of a train or something. That's my nightmare.
I also had this dream where it was the nightmare, where my whole entire, like, my big family, like, everyone that's related to me was in my house for some reason. And we were getting news that there was, like, a murderer going house to house. We were trying to, like, figure out what we should do, because you can't leave because it's going to everyone's house. Mm-hmm. And we, like, all had, like, our own weapon and stuff. I was like, yeah, we're not. And I was on FaceTime with, like, one of my friends, or, like, a couple of my friends on, like, different screens. And I was just seeing each one of them get murdered, and I was like, this is the worst thing ever. It's crazy.
I had this dream when I was little. I'm starting to forget it, actually, but it was, like, me, my brother, and my cousin. And we were, like, in, like, it was kind of like a bar. It was, like, really, like, dark in there or whatever. And, like, we got kidnapped. But it was, like, in my mom's car at the time. Someone, like, stole my mom's car. And, like, the 3 of us got kidnapped in it. And I don't know, I just remember driving down, like, this really long road. And, like, my perspective was, like, from the outside of the car. Like, I could see the car driving down the road, like, with me in it. I don't know, that was weird. And then recently, I had a dream where I got pregnant with twins in high school. A nightmare. The feeling when I woke up was unmatched. Like, my life was over. Having twins in high school, worst dream ever. Terrible.
Was that one of your things, like what dreaming about being pregnant means?
It is. Dreaming about pregnancy is a symbol for a new beginning. So it's like before you like before you get in a new relationship, or like before moving somewhere or starting a new job.
I don't know.
You got something coming for you, Madison?
I guess we'll find out.
I have like one
a
more.
real life nightmare.
I have like another dream, and it was like it's so weird because it was like the town of Orion, and there was this like giant like walking around the town of Orion, and he like ripped off the roof of my house and was like feeling around inside, and then he left. But like me and my dog were sitting on our couch. I was like, that's not even really a nightmare. Like it's not even that scary, but it was just like, such a weird dream. I literally, yeah, I have dreams all the time when I'm falling. Like I don't know why. Like what does that mean on the paper? Falling dreams?
It's just like lack of control, or like when you can't control things in your life.
But
So
like the feeling when you wake up is so good.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
You know, like the dreams when you, well, it's not even a dream. It's just when you're sleeping so good and you're like really like deep dreaming, and then you wake up and you like don't know where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
Those are good. Those are good sleeps.
Yeah.
have any of you guys ever had sleep paralysis?
No.
What does that mean?
I'm so
Probably
scared of it.
like top 2 fears.
Wait, what is that?
It's when you're like, when you wake up in the middle of the night, but you can't move your body at all, and like, so it's basically like you're in a dream, but you can't wake up,
And like
you're
something bad will be happening to you. Like you'll like see like something in like the corner of your room, like but like you like cannot move, and like bad things can happen to you.
Why can't you not move your body?
Bad things.
because it's like a dream, like you can't.
Whoa.
Or it's just like bad dreams.
You're literally
What?
paralyzed.
That's so scary.
No, someone should research that.
Mm-hmm.
That freaks me out. Maybe we could do that for, I don't know, just talk about it for a minute next week or something.
Yeah, it freaks me out, like the idea of it.
Or lucid dreaming. Have
Oh,
you ever,
yeah.
like, you can, like, you're, like, aware that, like,
People try
oh,
to
yeah.
do that, and I'm like,
Wait, what is that?
like, you'll be, like, in a dream, but, like, you're aware that you're in a dream, and then you can start controlling what happens in your dream.
Although that
But-
kind of happens in my dreams a lot. Like I can control stuff.
Oh.
Like it's like I'm living my normal life in my dreams sometimes.
No,
That's
I think
weird.
it's more like, it's like you're awake, but you're
Oh.
asleep.
Yeah.
And like you're like just like like it's almost like you're like, you know, like when you just like lay in bed and like make up scenarios or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I think it's like that, but like you're asleep.
Oh.
But like if you do that, that can lead to the sleep paralysis, and then like you start having like bad things happen to you, like scary stuff.
this is
Oh,
really
nice.
random, and maybe I'm just stupid for asking it, but I wonder how like sleepwalking even works.
I was just about to like talk about sleepwalking.
I don't
Like,
understand.
how do you just know where you're going when you're dreaming? And, like, how are you walking when you're, like,
I wouldn't. There's no way my body could get up without me knowing. You know,
I literally, there was one time when I was younger, I was, like, walking downstairs, and, like, my dad was like, what are you doing? And, like, I like, talked to him, apparently.
Oh yeah, I.
But it's like, how do you know how to talk back, but you're still dreaming, but, like, you're also, like,
There's been more than one occasion where I walked into my parents' room and asked for a sandwich in the middle of the night, like sleepwalking.
That's funny.
And then they're just like, go back to bed. So, yeah.
I sleep talk a lot, but I don't
I do
sleepwalk. And it's just like random stuff. One time, me and my friends were like, this was a long time ago, but me, a couple of my friends, and my sister were like all laying in the living room, and it was like morning. My sister was still sleeping, and she like raises her hand, and she's like, "Mom, I'm not going to school." And then she just like her arm just dropped, and it looked like she's like died and went back to sleep. It was so weird. I was like, I'm so sorry for her. I don't know what's going on.
She sent me a nightmare about school too.
I also said that she's like had a conversation with me like while I'm sleeping.
With
Like
you?
Yeah, like I'll be like asleep and like she can like talk to me.
What?
Like I'll be dreaming. I don't know.
I just
Freaks
say
me
random
out.
words,
Creepy.
Yeah.
and it probably doesn't even sound like real words. It just sounds. I don't.
Oh
even
my
know.
gosh. Okay, I'm gonna like expose my mom a little bit. But so we were in Indianapolis for my brother's baseball tournament, and we were in the hotel, and she literally like it sounded like a siren, like an emergency siren. And we looked over, it was my mom. It was the funniest thing ever. Like, we all, like, sat up and were like, what? And it was
Dude.
so bad. I'm so sorry, Mom. She doesn't even listen to these, but, like, still. It's...
This is so random. This isn't even on the realm of dreams or anything like that. But one time, me and my brother were staying with, like, our whole family at some hotel place or whatever. and the intruder alarm starts going off. Just me and my brother are in the room, nobody else there, and my brother is dead asleep, and I'm freaking out. I am
Is this real or a dream?
This is real.
Oh, jeez.
I start freaking out, and I'm like, oh my god, like, there is an intruder in this building. I'm gonna die. My parents aren't here. And I literally silenced my phone, turned off, hid under the covers, pretend like I was sleeping, made sure the door was locked. I was looking at the people the whole entire time. I was like, because I didn't want to wake my brother up and freak him out. Like, I was like, yeah, he's not saving me. He's dead asleep over there. So
You're just leaving him to die.
I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't walk out there because I don't know what this dang intruder is. Anyways, scariest thing in my life. It was a false alarm. It was at 3 a.m. My grandma ended up calling me, and she was like, we're going outside, like, get outside. So we ran outside, 3 a.m., we're standing out there in our PJs, and then we hear that it's a false alarm, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. That is probably
crazy.
top 3 scariest moments of my life.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to No Gimmick. Hopefully you learned some new stuff about dreaming and deja vu and everything. What are we doing next week?
I don't know.
Your interview?
It might be your interview.
Because we only have 2 more weeks left.
Wait.
Yeah, so
Include-
next week will
after
be your
this one,
last
we'll-
episode, and then we'll have one without you.
Okay. All right, guys. So you heard that. Next week is my last ever No Gimmick episode of, like, all time. So you better tune into that. And, yeah, have a great day and a great week and everything. Bye.
Bye.
That is
Oh my
so
gosh.